So I have also been accused of using the union to write my PhD project. And my response to this is that I have a career path of obtaining a PhD in criminal law through my study of restorative justice within the Nigerian correctional system. But purpose brought me into the healing movement, and I shifted my study to examine how restorative justice can be adapted to the sector of healing, to set regulations and compliance, especially in addressing the issue of corporate victimization. I believe this is the best way to make impact, and I'm doing just that, whether as president of Alton or as an individual or a citizen of Nigeria. And I encourage all youths, across the world, not just in Nigeria, to make impact collectively in the best way they can, because that is the only way that we can, achieve true growth. We need to stand up for the rights of our base transporters of Nigeria, for the rights of all workers within the sector. We need to stand up. The National Delegate Conference will redirect our focus to the enactment of legislation and legislative advocacy. The Lagos State Council, for example, took the courageous step to present the findings of the National Collective Agreement on the floor of the House of Assembly, and we know it that a public hearing has been called. More states should advocate for workers' rights at the state assembly level. At the national level, the union can organize conferences and meetings to draft a national policy into law. Such conferences can adapt restorative justice practices and principles to ensure that victims are compensated and that harm is prevented in the future. A new transition on September 20th will bring peace. Previous court cases would come to an halt. The state councils have kept quiet before now because they believed, of course, that the CWC would change their ways. But the continuous misbehavior of the Central Working Committee may lead the union into chaos that the federal government may have to withdraw the certificates of the union. And as you may all know it, I am making the sacrifice not to recontest. I would not be contesting for the next president at the NDC in September 20th. The goal is to have a fresh start. It is in the best interest of the union. But I will continue to make impact by supporting a newly and a duly elected leadership after the National Delegate Conference on September 20th, 2025. My purpose will now be on actualizing legislation for the sector as an advisor and organizing our friends and our brothers within the sub-Saharan African region on how to achieve legislation as well, and how we can build a solidarity movement across the continent of workers within the sector towards a supranational legal framework at the level of the African Union. The opportunity to serve as president of Alton has presented me with tangible experience that, as I continue to work towards a future of organizing workers within the sub-Saharan African region, to support labor structures within the app-based transport sector, to get a trade union approval, and support comrades to come together with regulators and platforms to enact a national policy into their laws. Digital Labor Worker Initiative and this small dream has begun to translate into a bigger vision that will strengthen workers' voices and transcend borders to improve the overall system. Comrades, it is my pleasure to present to you the State of the Union address. And I know that many of us have questions, and I've also left some important information out. But I encourage you to show up in the next NEC meeting, where you will get the opportunity to ask me questions and categorically state your opinions for records purpose. And I would respond adequately. I look forward to seeing you in the next NEC meeting very soon, and to a fruitful deliberation and a very wonderful time at the first National Delegate Conference scheduled for September 20th, 2025 in Akwa Ibom State at the NLC State Headquarters. Thank you very much, and God bless you. God bless Houghton, and God bless Nigeria. Thank you.